any individual person that's up here, we would not be able to make this announcement. They all had a distinct role to play. First, I'll recognize the Vice Chairman, Roy Costner, from the Liberty area, Chris Lawless, council member from over in Central 6 Mile, the Chairman, Chris Bowers from the Easley area, Representative Davey Hyatt, who is integral in getting us to this state, Senator Rex Rice, and also Representative Neil Collins. All of them had a distinct role, and I'll talk about that a bit more in a moment as we look at this. But we're just very excited to announce this, and I guess our message here today is for the folks that have traveled on Highway 183, for the traffic that they have faced, for the safety issues that they have experienced. We want to tell them that now we can say, fully funded, help is on the way. Let's talk about how that looks. To do it correctly, we have to talk about something that started over 7 years ago. There was a move, and it was the brainchild, frankly, of Representative Neil Collins, to start a group that would get local officials together regularly and collaborating regularly. So quarterly, under the title Pickens United, our mayors, our city council members, our county council members, our other elected officials and members of the delegation get together around a table and talk about real issues that they are facing. The first issue, I am told, that they really talked about was how do we address 183? How do we address improving that state highway in our community? And Pickens United took that on as a project. For 7 years, they've been working application after application to the state to try to make it happen, advocating here with county council members trying to make it happen. And so I think we're not doing justice to that collaboration and that example of what can happen when a community pulls together about a problem. Instead of just pointing and saying it's somebody else's problem, they pulled together and solved it. So for that, I want to say thank you to Representative Neil Collins and for all the members that participated throughout in Pickens United. To demonstrate how that actually looks, let's talk about the funding. $95.2 million coming from various agencies, various levels of funding. The basic look is the chart you see there on the left, which shows the $22.5 million that came from the local match. That was what Pickens County had to be able to figure out how to fund in order to qualify under the rules for the State Transportation Infrastructure Bank funding. That's the $44.7 million you see that we found out just this week we had qualified for. So we had to get to 22.5 to get to the 44.7. We're very thankful that the State Infrastructure Bank approved that on Tuesday. It's the first award that's come to Pickens County from the State Infrastructure Bank. We believe it to be the largest grant that's ever come to Pickens County, so we're very excited about that. But because we had the 22.5 and we're applying for the 44.7 through the leadership of Senator Rice and his role on the GPATS committee, we were able to get the Greenville-Pickens Area Transportation Study, that's GPATS, the way federal road money comes into our community. We were able to get them to approve $28 million on this project. That happened here recently, and we're very thankful and very proud that that happened. So those three big pots of money are how you get to the 95.2. But let's talk about how Pickens County got to the 22.5 million. We couldn't just write a check. That was not possible. We did, however, through the work of Representative Hyatt and the other members of the General Assembly, we were able to get a $10 million allocation through the State General Assembly's annual budget. Very, very important for getting us to the local match that we needed. So Representative Hyatt and the other leaders were able to secure that state funding. Then the county, through the leadership of our chairman who pushed this through on the agenda, our vice chairman, our other members who voted for it and who fought passionately for it, we were able to issue a $12.5 million bond based on the county's debt serviceability to make up the other part of that. The neat thing about that I would like to point out is that in order to service that bond, a third of a county mill was dedicated to it, about $230,000. The balance of that bond payment comes from County Transportation Committee money, CTC money, or another way to look at that is the state gas tax. So even our local match was being made up of money coming to our community out of the state gas tax. The portion that came from the county millage, I'm proud to say this, and I appreciate the support of the council members in this, that came not because we raised taxes, not because we came up with some new fee. That came about because county council decided they wanted to find savings in our existing budget to fund that portion. So that bond payment is being paid by that third of a mil that is completely taken from savings that we were able to find in our existing budget, which I think is a good story. All that put together, though, is where the $22.5 million comes from. So what you see is county millage, state gas tax, state special allocation, state transportation infrastructure bank funding, and also federal money coming through GPATs. It took all of those folks coming together to bring us here today. Let's talk a little bit about what this covers. The scope of this project starts at South Carolina Highway 135, just above Easley, and would widen 183 and provide safety improvements all the way the length to the Greenville County line, which is the Saluda River, would include replacing and widening that bridge over the Saluda, and also going a little over a mile into Greenville County to Gross Road. Gross Road, I am informed, is the point where the road widens out to get ready to meet White Horse Road, US 25. So from 135 to US 25 would be a widened, improved, safety-enhanced thoroughfare that can handle the traffic. We know that the traffic's increasing, and that is the most heavily trafficked portion of 183 that's being addressed here. We also know that 4-year crash data shows that segment of 183 has had over 343 accidents just in the last few years. That's one every third day. With 146 injuries, significant injuries. These are not scratches. These are significant injuries, and 5 fatalities during that 4-year period. So I think this is money well spent. It's an effort that is very important to our community and to all of those who travel through that part of Greenville and Pickens County. Project cost, the Pickens County road portion plus the culverts as we go over our waterways will be about $65.7 million. Our portion of the Saluda River Bridge would be $5.5 million, totaling $71.2 million. Greenville County GPATs, the bridge portion, the road portion, as long as some contingents for the Greenville County expenses, basically that's how you get to the total amount, which is $95.2 million. Significant project for our community. What's next? Many people may ask, okay, when will I see activity? We know that we've secured the funding. When will we see the activity? I want to let you know that in the coming months, there's some procedural steps that have to happen. We're assured those will go very well, but those procedural steps are the South Carolina Department of Transportation Commission has to approve the project. Now that it's fully funded, I'm assured by them that that will be readily given. And then the Joint Bond Review Committee has to act on it, so that should happen in the next couple of months. But in the first quarter of this coming year, 2024, you should see public meetings occurring where we talk to the public about how this road should be how it should look, how it should be configured, what their concerns are. We're going to get good public input as we look at this road. And then you will also see in the first quarter of 2024, you will see survey crews out there, engineering crews out there, looking at how are we going to design this expansion. So we're excited about the public input. We're excited about seeing work happening within just a very few months. Very, very excited about that. Again, this is an effort that took all of Pickens coming together. Pickens United, $95.2 million. Improvements for South Carolina 183. It's been a joy to be a small part of this. I'm very excited to allow any of the other players that would like to come up and make a comment about this wonderful day.
Good morning. I'm Chris Bowers, Chairman of Pickens County Council, and I'm so excited to be here for this announcement. 7 years ago, this was a dream. This is a state road, which was always thought to be a state problem. But what is so exciting about this project is the $95.2 million that's been secured from across many different facets of government. Without cooperation, without collaboration, this project would have never happened. It would still be a dream today. Vice Chairman Costner worked so tirelessly early on to keep the project going, and we've been able to push forward to be here to where we are. As a healthcare professional, working in the field, working on an ambulance as a paramedic, I have worked many accidents on 183, in fact, been involved in accidents on 183. So personally, as a resident, as a citizen of Pickens County, I am excited that we are able to make a difference on this dangerous stretch of roadway. I'm also encouraged as a resident of Easley that we'll have alternative traffic patterns to maybe alleviate some of the congestion that we're seeing. There are a lot of folks that are just plain terrified or scared to go down 183 where they currently have the option coming out of Greenville. So hopefully this also will help us alleviate those issues. Again, without the collaboration and without the cooperation of our delegation, of our council, of our GPATs, of the CTC, we wouldn't be here today. So I just want to say thank you to all those folks. Senator?
Thank you, Chris. And you mentioned working accidents. I'd say if anybody has lived here any time at all, they've either been involved in an accident or had family members involved in an accident, actually lost family members. I know in our case, we've lost dear friends of ours to a crash out there on 183, and I think most people that have been around here any time probably have. You know, I want to say this, this is a major step forward to a new, safer road on 183, and that's a great improvement. Ken, thank you, and thank the county council for all you did, because obviously you had to be part of it. It wouldn't be here today. Davey, you helped get that $10 million as majority leader of the South Carolina House. You helped get that $10 million, and Neil on Ways and Means and Pickens United. Obviously, you had to watch it go through. Senator Thomas Alexander is not here today, but he represents Pickens County. As president of the Senate, Thomas did a great job of keeping that money in there. The members of the State Infrastructure Bank, I want to say thank you to them. GPATs, the committee that I serve on, Neil, you're on that committee, all the members of that to come forward with this last section of the funding. That's very big for us. Ross Turner, who is vice chair of the GPATs committee and also serves on the State Infrastructure Bank. He helped us a lot on this, so that was important. There's a lot of thank yous out there. Dwayne Green, who's the chairman of the GPATs committee, C-Fund committee. The C-Fund committee played a big part on this. So everybody, it took everybody coming together. If we hadn't had that, we wouldn't be where we are today. And I know everybody wants this fixed tomorrow. I think the project, hopefully we can have it done within the next 7 or 8 years. That's our goal, is to move it forward as quick as we can. And I think the county's being willing to deal with this will help expedite the project. So I just want to say thank you to everybody involved. Dave?
Well, hello, my name is Neil Collins. I serve in the South Carolina House, and I'm just going to echo what has been said. Just when people work together, things like this happen. First meeting with Roy Costner when he was first elected, if he had said no, this project would have gone nowhere. If we went back to the county council at the time and they said no, this project would have gone nowhere, but to their credit, they continued. Of course, on GPATs, Senator Rice chairs, CTC represented a little bit today, but CTC without their funding. The slide that I loved was how this is funded, and at the end of the day, locals are funding $2 million of a $95 million project. So without state help and all of our friends and colleagues down in Columbia, without GPATs, again, this project wouldn't be possible. So County Administrator Roper, thank you for your work. One person that hasn't been mentioned that I think was key in this is County Councilman Henry Wilson. He campaigned on this project and he delivered. I think that's important. It also gave us the backbone to know that this was an important project. Obviously, the big thing for me is among those statistics is we had basically one fatality a year in this stretch of road, and hopefully this project will save lives. But again, to everybody behind me and everybody that played a part, I love that it took a whole community to do this, and thank everybody for their work.
I'm Davey Hyde. I have the privilege of representing the Pickens area here in the State House of Representatives. To borrow a phrase from a former governor, it's a great day in South Carolina, and it's especially a great day in Pickens County as we can announce what a project. I've lived here all my life. I've traveled up and down 183 thousands upon thousands of times, but to finally think that we're going to be able to get this road fixed, finished, just about everywhere I went, when you talk about roads, somebody would bring up 183. And we got close several times to getting this fixed, guys. You remember we got to the table one time and all thought we were going to get there, and we got turned down. And so, but persistence of all these guys and ladies, and especially Ken running the show for the county, we pushed it past the finish line this time. It's going to be a great thing. I tell people out there that are watching and listening today, don't be calling tomorrow going, when are they going to start paving? It's going to take a while, but it's going to get done. We promise you it's going to get done. The funding was the first thing, and now the folks that'll take care of doing all the work, surveying, buying, acquiring the land, doing all those kind of things will get started. But it's important that people of Pickens County realize that this was done without raising any taxes. It was done without raising any taxes at the state level. It was done through cooperation of people who want to see Pickens County be a better place. And that's who these guys are behind us. It's a great honor and a privilege to work with each and every one of them. Because if you ever need anything, all you got to do is just say, hey, look, guys, let's talk about these things. Representative Collins, with the idea of Pickens United, we're all busy, but he said, hey, look, we need to get together at least once a month, once a quarter, to talk about that. And from then on, this thing has just kind of built, sort of got its own momentum. So thank you again to all you guys back there. Ken, thank you for your leadership. And I've had a small part at it, but I'm glad to see that soon, one day, hopefully I'm still alive, that I can see when they cut that ribbon and we get to go down that brand new road of Highway 183.
Gentlemen. One thing, and I do appreciate this being mentioned, I think Representative Collins mentioned this, was Dr. Henry Wilson, who is the county council representative from this area. He was down with us in Columbia on Tuesday when we were in front of the State Infrastructure Bank, and I will describe his reaction to the approval. It was joy. I am not exaggerating. It was joyful tears. This is something that he cared about. He campaigned on. It was important to him. It was the first thing he mentioned to me when he was elected to county council. He said, what are we going to do about 183? And I said, it's a state highway, I don't know. But it's very important to him. He could not be with us today, but I will tell you, he was down there on Tuesday in front of the State Infrastructure Bank, continuing the fight that he's been fighting since he first got involved in county council politics. With that being said, a very exciting day for us. I'll be glad to answer any questions you might have. All right, seeing none, thank you all for being here. Thank you to the CTC. Thank you to our delegation, to our county council. We're excited about this. It's a very exciting day for Pickens County. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.